Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time doing another Christmas review, and this one is on the Muppets Christmas Carol. Now, as you know, the Muppets Christmas Carol is a 1992 American musical fantasy comedy film that was directed by Brian Henson, making it his theatrical directorial debut, as well as being the first Muppets film to be produced after the deaths of Jim Henson and Richard Hunt. Now, for those who don't know, Jim Henson was the creator of the Muppets, as well as giving us the cult classic film The Dark Crystal, as well as having the coffee adverts where you had a character killing off one character by multiple ways. Now, A Muppet's Christmas Carol is meant to be based on the 1848 novel A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and throughout the movie we see how Gonzo plays the role of Charles Dickens and the narrator, and Razza the Rat being the kind of co-narrator. So for them being the narrators does sort of work, because it's basically Gonzo sort of explaining the story while Razzo sort of goes into situations throughout the scenes. And the premise of the film is meant to follow Michael Caine as Ebenezer Scrooge. And I think what makes him work as Ebenezer Scrooge is that he's meant to be selfish, arrogant, hypocritical, and so many other things, until he's met by the two Marley brothers. Now, keep in mind that in the book A Christmas Carol, Jacob Marley was just one person. So having Statler and Walter be the kind of Marley and Marley brothers does work. And when you kind of got them singing their song, We're Marley and Marley, it really gives this kind of comedy duo, sort of black comedy act. And throughout the movie, we mainly see the three ghosts. When we've got the Ghost of Christmas Past, it's like a sort of painting brought to life and meant to show Scrooge's past. When you've got Present, he kind of acts like a concerned uncle and kind of mentor figure. And when you got the Ghost of Christmas Future, they really do bring the dark atmosphere to him to life. And throughout the movie, we definitely see how they do a great job in bringing the songs to life. Because when you got Scrooge's song, it really gives this really, there he goes, Mr. Miserable, we all hate him sort of song. And when you kind of got Kermit's song, who's meant to be Bob Cratchit, when he sings One More Sleep to Christmas, it really brings this happy, more loving, and happy feel to it. And when you kind of have the song that was cut out from other versions, except restored in VHS, Laserdiscs, and first DVDs full screen, When Love Is Gone, when sung by Scrooge's love interest, it really feels like it really is deep, and it feels more like it's her saying, our love is done, I can't be with you anymore. And I think what makes the scene work between Scrooge and her, it's like in a moment in our lives where we wanted something to work out. We wanted to sort of, work something out between our relationships with someone we cared about or our friends, but sometimes that can't always happen. And I think what they do well is that they do show that Michael Keaton Scrooge does show some guilt, because when he realises what a fool he's been, you can tell he does feel regret. And when he does see what Bob Cratchit's life is like, they really do a good job. And I would say my only real gripes is the fact they got rid of the sister and replaced it with Sam Eagle being the sort of teacher. Now, the point of Scrooge's sister was meant to be the only person Scrooge ever cared about, and was meant to sort of remind me a bit of Lena Luthor with Lex Luthor. And again, I wouldn't really call it the darkest one, because They do keep some happy-go-lucky elements in. They don't really try to take themselves too much as serious. And again, it's like looking at when they did Treasure Island. That version wasn't taking itself completely serious, and I don't think that was the case. And I would say that A Muppet's Christmas Carol is kept fairly close to the book. And you can kind of tell Gonzo does pay a lot more attention to it, and does sort of say that it's mostly for educational purposes, as it's kind of like him saying, well, the children are going to watch this despite them being scared. So I think by the end of it, A Muppet's Christmas Carol is a bit of a hit and miss, but it's enjoyable. And I think Michael Keaton does a great job for Scrooge. So I think the movie deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.